Welcome everyone to Plum Hollow Lanes in Southfield for second round action of the Bowling Showcase Challenge. I'm your host, Mark Martin, and with me is my co-host, Stephanie Penksa. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thanks, Mark. What an exciting day after weeks of head-to-head single-game elimination matches in round one. 8 teams move on to the second round of competition. Each team hoping to win their match and move one step closer to the ultimate prize.
Now, that's right, Stephanie. We started with 16 teams representing various bowling groups and centers from the Metro Detroit area. And after all of the exciting first round action, 8 teams remain with their eyes on the prize. For each of these 8 teams, they're hungry, skilled, and determined, ready to prove they are the best. It's going to be an exciting series of matches all the way to the final championship.
And our venue for all this bowling action is right here, Plum Hollow Lanes in Southfield. We'd like to thank them and General Manager Carmen Allen for helping us bring you all the action to you at home. Come down and check them out sometime. Okay, Mark, it's time to tell us about the 2 teams facing off in today's show.
This week's Bowling Showcase Challenge match features Merri Bowl squaring off against Super Bowl. Now, if you remember, Merri Bowl had a decisive victory over their first round opponent, Cherry Hill Lanes North, 207 to 132. And Super Bowl, they won the Battle of Newcomers in round 1 by beating Airway Lanes 192 to 180. Both of these teams are out to prove they are the best. It should be an exciting match.
And once again, we have a very special guest to help you bring all the excitement. Our special color analyst, bowling superstar, Team Canada medalist, and Women's Series standout, Robin Orlikowski.
So let's get to it. We're going to move into position, get a better view of the action. We'll be right back with the start of this match after these messages right here on Bowling Showcase. Owning and operating a bowling center is a unique business, and no one knows it like Sandy Hansel and Associates. We've been buying, selling, and valuing bowling centers for over 30 years. We've sold over 500 centers and valued more than 1,200 centers throughout the United States and Canada. We often assist the purchaser in securing financing, obtaining your liquor license transferred, and avoiding potential pitfalls unique to this business. Trust your next bowling center transaction to Sandy Hansel and Associates, bowling's only full-service broker, appraiser, and financial advisors. Visit us at sandyhansel.com. Metro Detroit USBC, your source for everything bowling in the bowling capital of the world. We support USBC certified league and tournament competition. We provide 11 tournaments for all members of our association, including men, women, youth, seniors, scratch, and handicap competition. The top reasons for belonging to the Metro Detroit USBC are having your average recognized, bonding of league funds, rules of the game, assistance in resolving league issues, equipment standards of the game, charities, and awards. Visit us at mdusbc.com.
Okay, here we are, our second round 2 match. We've got Merri Bowl versus Super Bowl. Merri Bowl back in week 3 beat Cherry Hill North quite decisively, 207 to 132. And Super Bowl had a pretty tight match with the Airway Lanes team, 192 to 180. So here we've got Dave Nicola leading off for Merri Bowl. So what do you think, Robin? Going to shape up pretty good, eh?
Yeah, I mean, with both teams, you know, we had one at 200, the other team was almost 200. I think both teams are going to be very powerful in this match and bring their A game. All right, he leaked a little to the right, but still got back, and he got that light strike there. Carry. Recently, Dave lost 100 pounds.
Nice.
Good for him.
Okay, we've got Jane Lipmeyer, who started bowling after she retired. Been bowling now for 18 years. High average 162.
Good shot there.
Good shot.
A little light, hitting the head pin, leaving the 2-4-5.
Relatively easy spare for a lady like Jane. What would you do if you were Jane?
I think all you do is just move about 2 or 3 boards to the right, throw it across lane, straight at it, trying to hit the 2-5 pocket. She looks like she's all right.
Good cover, good cover.
Looks like she was on line for it.
You bet she is.
Nice to stay clean there for her team.
So Brian Winkle, who's part of the Winkle family that owns Woodland Lanes, and ironically, he's bowling for the Merri Bowl team. They picked him up as a sub back in week 3.
Okay, he throws some wood and takes out the 10 pin.
Sends the messenger over to send a message. Rick Lappin. He's a millwright. High average 200. Lives in Wayne. Been bowling since the age of 10.
All right, a little loft on his ball there.
Oh.
Goes Brooklyn and carries.
It doesn't matter how, it's how many, right?
There is no style points in bowling. It's all an X up
right.
there, so good for him.
Exactly. So Ashley Gluba is up next. Recently graduated from cosmetology with a degree in cosmetology.
Wow, what a great throw that was. She was very powerful and was solid the line. I like to see that.
Merri Bowl starting off the match with a turkey.
Wow, I mean, they mean business.
Bob Lamoureux, longtime league secretary at Super Bowl. Been bowling for 50 years, retired with a high average of 197.
He's highly involved in his league, and that's great to see, too.
That was a good shot.
It was a good shot.
Left that 10 pin.
A pesky 10 pin for us righties.
It is, and a 7 pin for the lefties. So we got a few lefties in this competition. We saw a couple last week. And so Bob, making a 10 pin on that right-hand lane is a little tougher for the right-handed bowlers because you got the ball returning your way.
Yeah, and he's also using his strike ball to pick up his spare there, and it's a little bit more difficult that way because the ball's actually going to hook, so you have to flatten your wrist there. So unfortunately, he threw it in the gutter a little early.
Yeah, but Bob being a long-time bowler, you know, back in the day, that's how we learned to bowl. We didn't have a spare ball.
Yeah,
okay?
You only used one ball.
We only used one ball back in the day. So Ray Shanoski, speaking of lefties, here's a lefty for the Merri Bowl team. High average 226. He's a painter by trade.
Nice shot there. Wow.
Just like last week on lane 21, 3 lefties now have thrown that shot and left an 8 pin.
Sometimes when the dust settles, you're like, how is that possible? How is that pin not falling down? So, and just like last week too, our lefties is in the fourth position.
That's right. Yeah, Steve Berry was in the 4th position when he left it. Good cover by Ray. Okay, we have a substitute now for the Super Bowl team from round 1 action. Doug Saweski is joining the team. Doug is the general manager at Super Bowl Lanes. Put this team together. When he had somebody that couldn't make it today, he said, you know what, I'll fill in. So he's been a longtime member of the Community Bowling Centers chain, managed several other centers for Mark Voigt and Community Bowling Centers. So let's see how he does.
Every time I've been at Super Bowl, he's been a really pleasant person to be around. Yes. Great strike there to help
looks like
his
he
team.
can throw the ball, too.
Yeah.
You know, it was his son, David Saweski, that shot the first 900 in our association last year.
Wow, that's great.
So, surprised he didn't get his son to sub, but that's okay.
He pulled the team together. He has a little bit more
that's right.
pull.
That's right. So, Sean Schmidt now is the anchor bowler for the Merri Bowl team. Ooh.
Oh, no.
Commonly referred to as the double pinochle.
Or the big 4.
Or the big 4, that's right.
This one's a...
See, we call it the double pinochle back in my day, Robin.
That's when you threw only one ball, right?
That's when we only threw one ball, that's right.
Sean has some really good accolades to his resume. He recently is the new Merri Bowl record holder for series with an 875.
Well, he did the right thing there by getting 2. You got to get all the wood you can get. When you're dealt something like that, you got to make the best of it.
Yep, getting the wood for your team is the right way to go right now.
So the anchor bowler, Harold Shank Sr. for the Super Bowl team. He's retired also with a high average of 219.
A little light in the pocket there.
A little light, left a 7-pin.
Knocked the 4 out, so a 9 count there for him.
Boy, that would have really helped them because they're at a decided disadvantage, even with the open frame by Merri Bowl. They're trailing in this match. With a cover here, they'll be down by 15 pins.
He grabs his strike ball there to hook it into the 7-pin.
Oh.
And just barely misses it.
Just couldn't quite get up there. So the first half of the match is over. Merri Bowl has a decided lead, 103 to 76 after 5. You know, what do you see so far on this match, Robin?
You know, with Merri Bowl starting out with 3 strikes there, I think that's just giving them a little bit of a commanding lead over Super Bowl right now. If Super Bowl can fill their frames and get their spares, it would definitely be a head-to-head match right now. But
true, you know, maybe the Super Bowl team, now that they moved the other lane, maybe it's the lane.
It could be. You know, somebody else had said last week that this pair was a little bit tighter than the practice pair.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So we'll be right back after these messages on Bowling Showcase.
I think we were all a little bit nervous, as most people are when they bowl on TV or when you're in the public spotlight. But we learned a lot after that first match, got the jitters out.
DeCarlo's Banquet Center in Warren is one of the finest full-service catering centers in Southeast Michigan with 7 banquet rooms. It's the perfect place to host your next event. We're known for offering great food and exceptional customer service along with affordable prices. From birthday and graduation parties to weddings, showers, corporate and church events, we provide elegance you can afford and the flexibility to meet all your needs. Our menus start at just $9.75 per person. Call DeCarlo's Banquet Center today to schedule your next special occasion.
The Michigan State USBC Women's Bowling Association provides recognition and tournament competition to all levels of women bowlers. Competition include Women's State Tournament, this year in Bay City, State Queens in Holly, and the Midwestern Women's Tournament in Dayton, Ohio. Recognition includes first-time 300 game and first-time 600, 700, and 800 series. Visit MichiganWBA.com for entries for these tournaments and more information on women's bowling.
One game, and like they say, anybody can beat anybody in one game. So we're looking forward to showing what we can do.
Okay, the teams have switched lanes. Super Bowl is now on the left, Merri Bowl on the right. Super Bowl's got a little work to do.
Yep, these next 5 frames here, I hope that they can stay clean to give a little bit more of a interesting match here, but Merri Bowl's definitely got about a 30-pin lead on them. But anything can happen in the next 5 frames here.
Super Bowl down by 27. Could use a good solid shot from Jane Lipmeyer here. She spared back in the first frame. She left that 2-4-5 and picked it up. That was a good solid. Maybe she can come up with a strike here. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Let's see how she does here. Good shot off of her hand.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
She does it. What's great to see about Jane is she started bowling later in life, and it just shows you how much bowling is a lifetime sport.
That's right, exactly.
And staying active.
So Dave Nicola bowling for the Merri Bowl team. Back in frame 1 started off the Merri Bowl team with a strike. He lives in Canton. He's 22 years old with a high average of 231.
He's got 8 300 games to his name.
Oh.
A late 2 rolling it forward. Wow.
That 2-7 was the last ones to go down.
That definitely helped their team out. I mean, they're keeping it up here. That's back-to-back strikes for him, so he's been clean this game. He's been perfect.
That's right. Rick Lappin, again, back in second frame, shot through a strike. See if he can do that again. Get it out there. Good shot.
Solid shot by him.
Good shot.
If I remember correctly, the first shot that he threw was a Brooklyn.
Yes,
so this one,
think
he
you're
totally
right.
redeemed himself.
Absolutely. That was a great shot. Well, for Merri Bowl now is Brian Winkle. Brian, 27 years old, bowled his first 300 game this past summer. Left the 10 pin.
All right, so that was a great shot. You know, sometimes what happens with a 10 pin is the ball comes in a little bit late behind the head pin, and that's why you leave a 10 pin.
That's right.
So he's also a person that's grabbing his strike ball to throw at his 10 pin here. So what he's going to do is flatten his wrist out.
Oh.
And it looked like he tried to hook at it, and that may be why he missed it to the left.
Okay, so Super Bowl's got a shot here. Bob Lamoureux, he's back in the, left a 10 pin back in the third frame there. If he can come up with a strike here, that would really be great for the Super Bowl team. Hey, look at that.
All right, Super Bowl.
Super Bowl coming on, coming on.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is what happens. You know, you just got to try to stay clean, and it's in 5 frames, a lot can happen.
So Ashley Kluba, our cosmetologist, is up right now. She threw a strike back in the third frame there. They could really use one here. Got a little light.
You know, what I'm seeing is maybe true compared to the left lane, that the right lane is just a little bit tighter. So she came in a little light there.
So when you say tighter, you mean it's just not quite hooking as much?
Yeah, so the oil pattern, so you can't play the same part of the lane as the left lane. So she probably just, I mean, they probably just need to move just a little bit to the right to get it to...
Get a little bit better angle to the pocket?
Correct. All right.
Hey.
Gets the spare.
Spare.
That one can be difficult because of that 8 pin in the back there.
Okay, well, Super Bowl has now got a 5-pin lead after being down by 27 at the turn. With Doug Seweski, the general manager of Super Bowl, up right now for the Super Bowl team, working on a turkey. Looking for that infamous ham bone.
Taking a little pre-swing there, trying to make sure that his swing is loose.
Little pre-shot routine.
All right, little hop on his delivery there.
High.
Came in high.
Up to 3-6. Super Bowl's up by 3 pins in this match, so definitely needs a spare here on this 3-6.
In this 9th frame here, this is our foundation frame for the 10th frame. So getting a spare here is going to be very important for them to set up for the 10th frame. I'm not sure if nerves got under.
Looks like he might have got a little bit slow on that one.
And then sometimes that's what happens. You have to learn what your tendencies are in pressure situations like this.
Good cover. Good cover.
All right, that helps his team out.
Most definitely helps his team out.
Ray here has 10 300 games to his name, and he's got a high series of 845. That's a solid 800 series.
Remember, he left that 8 pin back in the 4th frame, which at the time, not that big a deal, but that looms large now.
All right. Oh, great shot.
Good shot.
Yeah, he liked it.
Okay, while Merri Bowl is down by 3 pins, they've got the advantage because they're working on a strike now. Super Bowl's working on a spare. So Harold Shanks Sr., the anchor bowler for Super Bowl, needs to put a little pressure on them. Even though they've got the lead, just put a little pressure on them.
Yep, and with the anchor bowler, it's what you want, the person who can handle that pressure the most.
Good shot.
And it made it look like it was just an everyday strike there. No pressure at all, no nerves.
Harold started bowling at the age of 17. He is retired. Likes to bowl with his family.
He comes from a large family. He has 13 brothers and sisters.
That's a couple bowling teams.
Oh, he likes it.
Ooh.
Running it out there.
Doing the walk. Doing the walk. Harold's got a double in the 10th here. That's really going to be beneficial here.
He's laser focused right now. Takes a glance at the board there just to see what the score is, to see what he has to do. He knows that he's putting the pressure on Merri Bowl.
That's right.
This is what I like to see when it comes down to the 10th frame and it's good games. Oh, he likes it, running it out again.
So struck out in the 10th, Harold Shanks for 204 for Super Bowl. They did a fantastic job in the second half of the game after being down by 27 at the turn. So Sean Schmidt now has to strike. Not only has to strike once, he has to strike twice in order to get to the promised land.
All right, that
wide.
ball looked a little...
Missed the head pin.
Yeah, it was a little fast. He just seemed like he rushed the shot maybe.
So that gives Super Bowl the win on this match. You know, was that an over adjustment by Sean maybe for that double pinochle that he left in the 5th frame?
You know, it could have, plus the right lane, I'm
It's
thinking
tighter.
is a little bit tighter,
Yeah.
so he probably, I think he was too fast. I think like his whole approach was just too fast on that first shot there.
Well, again, up there he made the spare. He's not very happy with himself for not executing. But, you know, Merri Bowl has redeemed themselves well. They've bowled well in this entire competition. They bowled well last year in the challenge. Super Bowl now is going to move on to the next round. And a 9 count. So the final score of our match is Super Bowl 204, Merri Bowl 190. I think the decisive part of this one was when Jane, in the 6th frame after the break, came and threw that strike.
Yeah, I think she started it off for her team and got them pumped up. And
that's right.
You know, it's not over till it's over, and they proved that.
Exactly. Well, we'll be right back after these messages with an interview with Stephanie on Bowling Showcase.
The Bowling Centers Association of Michigan is a nonprofit trade organization that protects, promotes, and advances the interest of its members and member centers. It is the only association in Michigan affiliated with the Bowling Proprietors Association of America. Benefits include group purchasing programs, tournaments, annual convention and trade show, education seminars, and legislative representation. Interested in becoming a member? Contact Bo Gergen at 989-600-0992 or visit mibowl.com.
For competitors of all ages, bowling is for life. And USBC is with you every step of the way. USBC and you, a future for the sport.
Congratulations to Super Bowl on beating Merri Bowl 204 to 190. Now I see a couple new faces here. Is the team chemistry a little bit different than it was in round 1?
Oh, absolutely not. They had to dig pretty deep into the bag to pull me out, but we missed Carl and Kathy. They were a big part of our first round victory, but got our core 4 bowlers here, and looking forward to our next match.
And you guys had a really close game up until the 10th frame. What was it that made you guys push through?
Oh, that's just our anchor bowler, Harold. That's why we got him at the bottom. So Jane's up top, lights the way for us. We just follow her lead.
Well, you guys both,
Yeah.
you guys both awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you, Mark.
Okay, so just as Doug talked about there, Harold was the anchor, but Jane, I think, coming out of the break, it looked really bleak for Super Bowl, down by 27.
Yeah, it's definitely, you know, 10 frames goes by so quickly, and after the first 5, they were down about 30 pins.
Right.
But Jane started off for her team, got them fired up.
She did.
And they were practically perfect in the back half of that game.
Well, she struck in the 6th, then they got a strike in the 7th, a strike in the 8th. You know, Doug came up a little high in the 9th, we covered that, and Harold Shanks closed it out with the turkey.
Yeah, Harold, he looks like he's been doing this for his whole life.
He did a great job. So next week, we've got the MD USBC Lifetime team and the 5-Star Lanes team. You know, both bowled pretty well in that first round match. Super Bowl now moves on to bowl the winner of last week's match in the next round, the Woodland Lanes team. That'll be really interesting.
Yeah, and you know, the first match was by Woodland. They had a solid 200 game, and then now Super Bowl closed it out for 200. So all these matches are great.
Exactly. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Bowling Showcase.